Good afternoon. My name is Debbie Jacobs, and I wanted to do a video today about happiness being a choice. And is happiness a choice? Well, basically, happiness can be a choice when it is established as an option. So, people living in mental illness, people living in depression, anxiety, bipolar, OCD, whatever, they are operating as they know. So, they are not operating and choosing their mental illness over their happiness. They are operating with what they know to the best of their ability, and they don't know happiness. They know unhappiness. So, for people living in mental illness, happiness is not a choice because they only know unhappiness, depression, anxiety, ineffective coping skills, poor social skills, negative beliefs, negative thinking, and that is not going to accomplish happiness. That is accomplishing their mental illness. But like everybody, we all have the option or the opportunity to learn new ways of being. So, if I was to focus on um, operating in ways that serve my highest good, that create my happiness, and I was to develop more positive, effective ways of being, then I would, have a choice and I'd be able to operate with happiness because I created the option for myself. I'll give you an example. It's kind of like, when we have our different languages, you know, I cannot speak French, Italian, Spanish, Swahili, Chinese. Those may be our choices of language, but I cannot speak any of them unless I go through the process of learning and mastering them. And I can't speak any of those other languages. I only know English. So let's say that English is my way of being, but it's creating unhappiness for me. So I am sticking with what is creating unhappiness for me when I actually need to start focusing on learning new ways of being. Because everything that I learned is not working for me. It is creating my depression, anxiety, and bipolar or mental illness. And I really want to, bring attention to the fact that when we call something a disease, when we call something an illness, when we call something, a circumstance that we have no control over, that can't go away or can't get better, that actually makes it harder to accomplish, positive change. So we want to stop calling depression an illness because it's not an illness. It is a result of our experiences and it is a culmination of our flaws. And when we start to dismantle our flaws and learn new effective ways of being, that's how we get out of depression. That's how we get out of anxiety. And that's how our happiness increases, our self esteem increases, our confidence increases. And then we have an option of operating in ways that serve us and serve our happiness. But until we create new ways of being, we don't have a choice to be happy because we are only operating based on what we know. And based on what we know could be abandonment issues, trust issues, guilt, anger, shame, anxiety, insecurity, worry, self doubt, jealousy, taking things personal, fear. That's a lot of unhappiness right there. And our happiness is getting rid of all of that. That is what perpetuates our unhappiness and, could end up in mental illness when we have negativity overload. We have so many flaws, we're operating with too much negativity, and we must free ourselves of the negativity to accomplish our happiness and positivity. replacing the ineffective negative ways of being with positive effective ways of being is going to help us in our life with our quality of life, our relationships, our definitely our happiness, our well-being, our self-esteem, our confidence, our sense of self, going from a negative sense of self to a positive sense of self. And that's really important because let me tell you something, your happiness depends on it. So I just wanted to, do a video because I know that this comes up a lot. And let me tell you something. As somebody who lived with depression, anxiety, and bipolar, I also felt, the same reaction to when people say, "Oh, it's a choice." No, it's not a choice. It's not a choice until it is an option and you have the knowledge to accomplish it. People are not going to choose unhappiness over happiness, and that's a little insulting to people's intelligence. And to everything that all of the parenting as well. Because parents don't mean for their children to turn out unhappy. It's their flaws that create flaws and pain in their children. But every parent, I believe, wants their child to be happy. They just don't have the thinking and the coping skills to accomplish it. So it's kind of like what you and sooner end up accomplishing mental illness than happiness. But people don't know that they are operating. Oh, I mean they do on some level, but what they don't know is to stop perpetuating what isn't serving them. Self-sabotage, inner critic, people pleasing, trust issues, impatience, all of this stuff does not create happiness. Feeling embarrassed, feeling disrespected, rejected, insulted, offended, and frustrated. There's a lot of negativity in our behaviors. And let me tell you something. Happiness, exists when all the negativity is gone. The more negativity gone, the more you increase your happiness. Being controlling, forcing people against their will, like that. These things don't help us. Violence doesn't help people create happiness. It never has. It hurts, So basically, hurt is in the way of happiness. And when we get our hurt out of the way, we accomplish our happiness. And as long as we have our hurt, we are not going to have our happiness, our true, authentic freedom and happiness. And that is the goal of what I believe what people want to accomplish through making positive change to themselves, getting rid of their flaws because their flaws are creating upset and unhappiness and perpetuating upset and unhappiness and low self-esteem. So basically, it is actually robbing us of our happiness. It is. And it is keeping us in our mental illness. And when we are operating like that, happiness is not a choice. We have to heal ourselves to accomplish happiness and live our life that way in positive thoughts, positive effective coping skills, and healthy self-esteem, not negative thoughts, negative ineffective coping skills, and low self-esteem. So my name is Debbie Jacobs. I just wanted to do this video. Hope everybody has a good day, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.